You know Nikki Reed as Rosalie from the Twilight saga, but she's also a mom, an entrepreneur, and helping to make this world a healthier and cleaner place. Nikki, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for your interest in Genexa and talking about clean medicine and all things in this space together.
Well, kids get sick and they get sick a lot, and parents, are always looking for that pain and fever reducer medication.
It's true. We did just come out of a really, really gnarly viral flu season, didn't we? All of us parents know that. It was just nonstop with our kids. Basically, like every parent, I care about what I'm putting into my child's body. And so it wasn't really until I became a parent that I started flipping over, boxes of medicine, when that first fever hits and you're like, what am I doing? And reading the ingredient list. And it led me straight to Genexa. My daughter had an allergic reaction to a different medication that had an artificial sweetener in it. And I thought at the time that was a pretty clean medicine. And once I started researching and realizing how common my daughter's story was, I was like, wow, there's got to be something else out there. And it was right on the verge of the launch of Genexa, and I tried it, and I immediately contacted the company and said, I have got to be an investor. I have to be involved in this. Please bring me onto your team, because people need to know about clean medicine. We're so concerned about what we're putting on our bodies and talking about products and eating organic and all of these things, which is amazing. And yet talking about clean medicine really hasn't even started until now, that conversation. So Genexa is all the same effective ingredients that you are already familiar with: acetaminophen, diphenhydramine, all those things, but without all the synthetic, preservatives, fillers, sweeteners, all of that stuff. Instead, you've got organic blueberry syrup, organic, beetroot, organic honey, as it should be. Simple, stripped down. That's how medicine should be.
And also, too, just a side note, in the Chicagoland area, you can find this at Walgreens and CVS, and as well as a bunch of different other markets as well, too. So definitely easy to find here in the Chicagoland area and across the nation. We have allergy medicine. We have a calm medicine. So it's not just the fever reducer and the pain medication, but as far as Genexa goes, there's also, kids who have to be on allergy medicine. They can have a cleaner version as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a wide array, which is incredible. And to see how quickly Genexa has expanded and offered different products, started with just children's, but actually there's adult medicine as well. So it's not just for kids anymore, which is so very exciting, because adults want clean too. We think that we're just looking at this for our children because we care so much about what our kids are putting into their bodies, but we need to be thinking about that for ourselves.
And medicine's one of those things, like, you're sick, just run to the store and go, we need to get this fever down, or we need to, get this pain relief right away. And it's one of those last things, like you said, that people were thinking about as far as making sure the ingredients were clean in there.
We're incredibly trusting with everything that we do. Just as human beings, I think we're innately trusting beings. And that's wonderful, right? But, we trust the system to take care of us. We trust the food system to take care of us. And now we've learned, as time has gone on, that there are some real pivots that need to be made in that industry. We trust the makeup industry to take care of us. And then decades later, we're learning about cancers and endocrine disruptors that are formed. And the same thing is happening in medicine right now. If you flip over a bottle of medicine and you can't pronounce the ingredients, and you do a Google search and you have no idea what any of that means, there's a reason for that. We have not trained ourselves to familiarize ourselves with the ingredient list of medicine. And so the thing I love so much about Genexa is you can even go onto the Genexa website and just click the clean medicine tab and just learn about what that means and do a direct comparison of what Genexa has in it and what Genexa does not have in it. And you'll immediately see why Genexa is so important. I mean, effective, same ingredients you're used to that are like, in your standard over-the-counter medicines, but without all the other stuff. So the rest of the ingredient list, besides, your active ingredients, but all of the other things below that, organic blueberries or organic beetroot, those are things you can pronounce, you know what they are, and that's what we should be putting into our bodies.
Last year, I got to meet your husband, Ian Somerhalder. He came here for Brothers Bond. He came to a couple different appearances here in the Chicagoland area, but he talked a lot about the process of that, and talk a little bit about maybe the household of both of you trying to, not just be a part of something else, but help to create a better world.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting. He works in alcohol and I work in sustainability and clean medicine. And you wouldn't think that there would be a parallel between those two or a bridge just between those two industries. But the truth is, there is because, he's always seeking better alternatives in his space and how to create, biodiversity and in the process of, growing grains, for example. And all of that is connected back to conscious living, a conscious approach to business, which is, I think, should be one of the core pillars of every business that's launched from this point going forward. I think that everybody needs to be, approaching business in that way. What is it doing for our bodies? What is it doing for the planet? People, planet, profit.
And then quickly, and then quickly before we go, I had heard that your mom was a hairstylist, and then when you were a young teenager, you started cutting kids' hair in the neighborhood. And I think that just shows your entrepreneurship at such a young age. Maybe some of the other kids who are watching, or maybe some of the younger generation who might have an idea to make this world a better place and not waiting until you're an adult, but kind of tapping into that at a young age.
Well, I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money or resources. So I grew up just doing what I could to, we just had to figure it out. And so I had many, little side jobs as a kid. And I was definitely cutting hair or doing makeup for weddings or making beaded bracelets or, doing whatever I could to save up enough money to buy like a karaoke set, any of the little extra things. So I started working at a very young age. It's true.
Well, Nikki, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me and for talking about Genexa.